Once, there was a time when one single flag flew proudly over 3 continents. The flag of the Ottoman Empire, an empire whose grandeur, architecture, and culture amazed the world for 6 centuries. Its name is written in golden letters across the pages of history, a state that rose from a small Anatolian tribe and gradually came to rule a vast part of the earth. Europe called it the sick man of Europe, a phrase born not from truth, but from envy and fear. Because the Ottomans were never sick. They were simply tired. Tired after 600 years of endless victories. The story begins with one man, Osman. It is said that Osman once had a dream. A great tree grew from within him, and its branches spread across the entire world. From that dream, an empire was born. Osman, leader of an Anatolian tribe, along with his son Orhan, began conquering lands to the north. They captured Bursa, then Edirne, which became the capital for nearly 100 years. Meanwhile, the Byzantine Empire was breathing its last, and in that era of decline, a new name rose among the Ottomans, Bayezid I, known as Yildirim, the Thunderbolt. In just 10 years, Bayezid doubled the size of the empire. But fate had other plans. From the east came Tamerlane, a conqueror who crushed Anatolia and plunged the Ottomans into a bitter civil war. It was the empire's first great trial. Brothers turned against brothers, and the struggle for the throne drenched the land in blood. Out of this chaos came a harsh yet decisive law. To preserve stability, the new sultan would execute his brothers. A cruel decision perhaps, but one that prevented future wars. Once the civil war ended, the Ottomans fixed their eyes on one goal, the city they had long dreamed of, Constantinople, the legendary Byzantine capital, the bridge between Europe and Asia. In 1453, Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror laid siege to the city. When peace was refused, he unleashed his cannons, his military genius, and his unbreakable will. The world's strongest fortress crumbled, and Constantinople fell at his feet. That moment marked the dawn of a new era. After victory, Mehmed entered the city's greatest monument, the Hagia Sophia, and turned it into a mosque. He renamed the city Islambol, which later became Istanbul. It would become the beating heart and the brilliant mind of the Islamic world. With Constantinople captured, the empire expanded in all directions, north to Crimea, west to the Balkans, and south across Egypt and Syria. Their greatest rival was Venice, but ironically, their biggest trading partner too. One day, they fought fierce battles. The next, they exchanged goods and gold along the same routes. Through these trade routes, knowledge, philosophy, and wealth flowed into Europe. And from this cultural exchange, the Renaissance was born. Then came the empire's most glorious chapter. Sultan Selim I conquered Egypt, Syria, and the Hijaz, bringing the holy cities under Ottoman rule. After him came Suleiman the Magnificent, whose reign from 1520 to 1566 was the golden age of Ottoman power, justice, and art. Suleiman reformed religious and civil law, built an efficient administrative system, and became one of the most powerful Muslim rulers in history. Under him, the great architect Mimar Sinan built mosques and monuments that still define Turkey's skyline today. But with every rise comes a test. European historians claim the empire began to decline after Suleiman, but in truth, for the next 2 centuries, the Ottomans remained strong and prosperous. They still ruled the Mediterranean, their art and culture flourished, and their governance remained stable and organized. This was not decline, it was a pause, a brief silence from a weary empire. During this time, remarkable rulers left their mark. Sultan Ahmed I built the stunning Blue Mosque, whose turquoise tiles gave the world a new color. Turquoise, meaning Turkish stone. Then came Murad IV, who banned both alcohol and coffee, but legend says he would disguise himself at night, raid coffee houses, and punish lawbreakers on the spot. And believe it or not, there was even a time when Ottoman pirates reached as far as Iceland. But time moved on, and the world changed. After the 1700s, Europe surged ahead with the Industrial Revolution, while the Ottoman Empire stood still. By the 1800s, France, Russia, and Britain began carving it apart. Greece gained independence. Algeria fell to France. Egypt came under British influence, and the Balkans broke away one by one. Europe declared, "This is the sick man who is about to die." World War I proved them right, or so they thought. The Ottomans sided with Germany, but after defeat, their empire was divided. Under the Sykes-Picot Agreement, Britain and France split the Middle East among themselves. But then, from those same ashes, rose a new dawn: Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. He led the Turkish War of Independence and in 1923 founded the Republic of Turkey, thus ended a 600-year-old empire and began a new era. Yet the story of the Ottomans is not just about conquest. It is a tale of knowledge, art, patience, and resolve. They showed the world that true power lies not only in the sword, but in discipline, justice, and wisdom. And perhaps that's why, when you turn the pages of history, you can still feel it. The Ottomans were never truly gone. They were a wounded yet living soul, whose heartbeat still echoes in the skies of Istanbul.